Most people think that fighters love violence, but deep down, they want to hurt people. But is that really true? Because if you study enough world-class fighters, one thing becomes clear. The best ones, they evolve. What starts as raw aggression transforms into discipline. The fire doesn't die with time, it just gets focused. So today, we're breaking down the psychological evolution of a fighter and the science of what actually changes in the minds of dangerous men. So keep watching. Let's call this the raw start. Why beginners are aggressive. When someone first steps into the fight world or street level self-defense, there's often one thing that stands out. They're emotional. You see it in their swings, their body language, their inability to breathe. Psychologically, this is often reactive aggression, a spontaneous, emotionally charged response to perceived threats or challenges. A 2007 study by Maxwell and Moores in the Journal of Sports Science found that novice combat athletes showed a significant difference in their emotional reactivity compared to more experienced athletes who demonstrated more controlled, proactive aggression. Because newer fighters often come with emotional baggage, a need to prove their toughness, past traumas, the fear of being humiliated or exposed, even an obsession with dominance. They're not fighting with strategy, they're fighting with their nervous system. And that's dangerous, not just for others, but for themselves as well. Now you could say this relates to wanting to prove something. This early aggression is often fueled by external motivation. For example, wanting to earn respect, proving your masculinity, even getting praise from your online audience, your coaches, your friends. These are all contributing factors. And this is exactly what psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan explored in their self-determination theory. It's one of the most widely accepted frameworks in motivational psychology. In the early stages of development, people are more driven by extrinsic motivation, represented by recognition, rewards, or the fear of disapproval. And that's especially true of male-dominated, high adrenaline environments such as combat sports. But the danger here is on dependency. When your identity is built on other people's validation, you're not really in control. You're reacting, chasing, gripping too tight, and eventually that cracks under pressure. But there is a shift to mastery. So what changes? If a fighter lasts long enough, if they keep showing up, something starts to shift. They stop fighting for others and they start fighting for themselves. And according to the self-determination theory, this shift is referred to as internalization. And I love this. Motivation becomes intrinsic, meaning the fighter trains and competes not for praise or identity, but for personal growth, challenge, and mastery. That's why you hear top athletes like Georges St-Pierre saying things like, I used to fight to prove something. Now I fight because I love the strategy, the problem solving, the art of it. And that's the theme echoed by many elite fighters. They learn to detach emotion from performance. So training becomes a ritual, fighting becomes chess, the opponent becomes a puzzle, not a threat, and that's real growth. So how do you get from brawler to tactician? Let's be clear, the aggression never fully goes away. It simply gets repackaged. A 2016 paper in the International Journal of Sports and Exercise Psychology showed that experienced fighters displayed significantly higher levels of attentional control, emotional regulation, and tactical discipline, even under stress. They're not reacting, they're responding. It's what separates the barroom brawler from the tactical technician. Instead of swinging wildly, a mature fighter calculates distance, timing, opportunity. And that's why the calmest fighters in the room are often the most dangerous. But through the fighter's evolution, they develop a respect for the craft. You see, martial arts at its best isn't about hurting people. It's about self-regulation, discipline, and the pursuit of excellence. These fighters aren't about hurting people. Even the brutal nature of fighting, they reframe it. It becomes a container, a test, not as a threat, a test of themselves. And that test reveals character, which is why many top fighters speak in a tone that's very philosophical. They use phrases like, the fight is with yourself, you win before you step in the ring, or respect the opponent because he brings out the best in you. This isn't just talk, it's the result of years of internal evolution, from chaos to clarity. So let's ask the big question again. Do fighters want to hurt people? In the beginning, yes, but maybe in time that fades. Because the real danger isn't in the man that wants to hurt you, it's the man that doesn't need to. He's not emotional, he's not reactive, he's precise. And that's terrifying. Remember, violence is primal, but mastery is deliberate. And when mastery is the goal, every punch, every moment in that fight has a meaning. So what's the takeaway? This is a transferable mindset to self-defense training. Learning how to evolve from simply wanting to hurt people to reframing a self-defense situation as a test of your character can help you progress with less emotion but more deliberate action when you're fighting, especially when you're defending yourself. So what can we learn from this journey? You don't have to be a fighter to relate to this, because whether it's in business, in relationships, or in life, most of us start with the same patterns: chasing validation, acting out of emotion, trying to prove something. But growth, real growth, is about transforming that. It's about becoming dangerous on purpose, with control, with clarity, with discipline. That's the evolution of a fighter, and that's the evolution of a man. Not just someone that can throw a punch, but someone who knows exactly when not to. Thanks for watching.